As Christians, we have the desire for the whole world to be reached with the gospel. This desire to reach the masses has been in me since I became a Christian. But how was I to achieve this? I worried that by not doing something, I'd miss out on the call to the Great Commission that Jesus gave. But the question was how? How can I be used by God to bring entire cities to Christ and see them changed with a message of hope and love? One day I was reading the book of Mark while sitting at my desk. I read how Jesus was in a synagogue and healed a man from an unclean spirit. After this, his fame spread everywhere in the region. After Jesus left the synagogue, he went to Simon's home and healed Simon's mother-in-law from a fever. At evening by sundown, the entire town was surrounding Simon's house. How incredible would it be that the fame of Jesus would spread throughout our towns and entire cities be drawn to him? I remember staring at the television watching a world-famous preacher speaking to an arena packed to the brim with people. My eyes were glued to the TV as he gave an altar call, and masses of people walked down the aisle toward the front of the stage to give their lives to Christ. I'd watch this and wonder, how could I become a great speaker who could attract such large crowds? Would I have to learn their speaking techniques, or have their Bible knowledge, or learn how to have their charisma? As I saw other preachers on TV specials or guest speakers at church who would attract large crowds, this desire would be embedded even more in me. But as I sat at my desk thinking about these things, I realized something. So I sat there and reread the verses. I stared at my Bible as I thought about these events. My eyes were gazed on the pages that these stories were on, as I realized that I overlooked a very important detail. Jesus wasn't looking for the crowds, but he was meeting a specific need of an individual. The man in the synagogue, he set him free from an unclean spirit. And Simon's mother-in-law, he healed her from a fever. And the more I sat there and reflected on this, I realized that throughout the ministry of Jesus, it seemed like he was never searching for the crowds. But so many times he would stop and focus on a single person and bring them healing. There are so many church conferences and outreaches being organized with the goal of bringing the gospel to many people, and many have great intentions. But I'm realizing that when it comes down to it, it's not about chasing the crowds, but stopping to focus on the individual and their needs. And maybe when I start to do this, the cities will follow. I see now that Jesus did tell us to make disciples throughout the world, but more importantly, he showed us how to go after the one.